This content is by no means intended for anyone under the age of 13. It is made for adult losers undergoing any sort of existential crisis. Midlives are accepted. Nobody under the age of 13 is allowed. If you are of such an age, I advise you to watch this with a parent or guardian, or kindly get lost. Also, this movie review is not 100% factual. I am merely giving you my unsolicited thoughts on this movie. If you're unable to comprehend that, then please put on your big boy or girl pants and make up your own damn opinions.
Hey there guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. This is a quick review. We're going to be taking a look at the movie The Grudge. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so where do I start? This is a tough one. This is a real tough nut to crack. I mean, you cannot have a good film if your foundation is terrible. And the foundation of 90% of most movies is the script, the writing. So how is it? Oh my god, don't get me started. This is some of the worst writing. And when I say writing, I'm not just talking about dialogue. I'm not talking about what people are saying. I'm talking about the story. There is nothing here. The story is non-existent. The characterization is lacking. This is just quirks. The characters here are just quirks. And when I say just quirks, I mean each person has their thing, something they're known for. That doesn't mean it's characterization. We don't know anything about these characters. We don't know why they're doing what they're doing, how they're doing what they're doing, what motivates them to do what they do. That is characterization. I don't care if this person does a certain thing a certain way. That doesn't bother me. This 90% of this movie is just character quirks. That does not make good character. And let's get into that story thing for a second. There is no story. This is plot point after plot point after plot point after plot point, followed by, guess what? More plot points. There's no story. Nothing is thread. There's no thread between each thing connecting one plot point to another. That's what a good story is. A good story connects plot points, connects moments. This does not have a good story. It does not have a story to begin with. There is, you can have a good foundation, you can have a bad foundation. There is no foundation in this movie. There is none. The pacing is off, and most people say the pacing really comes from directing. It doesn't, it comes from the writing. The writing really determines what the pacing is, and this movie has non-existent pacing. I mean, there's pacing, but it's almost like a monkey just crawled over a keyboard and made words appear. There's nothing special about this movie to begin with. There's no good story. There's no story to begin with. There's no characterization here. There's nothing. This movie lacks. It's hollow. It's just an empty shell of one scary moment to the next. But what my real problem with this movie has to do with the writing. It has to do with who wrote it, sorry, not the writing itself, but who wrote it. They brought back the writer of the original movie. They brought back Takashi Shimizu. Okay, I mean, it's not a bad thing to bring back the original writer, but it's clear that the only reason they brought him back was to basically rewrite the entire movie verbatim. This is a complete copy and paste of the first movie, just so happened to be in English, and it just so happens to take place in a certain location. That's it. That's the only difference. There's nothing special about this movie. There's no reason for this movie to exist. There are good characters in the movie. There's one good character. He's funny. But that's it. It's just a quirk. He's a funny character. We don't know much about the characters. I mean, there's a few good moments, a few scary moments. When I say good, I mean scary. But they're followed by 20 minutes of
just remember, it's all subjective.
And then followed by a good but useless scary moment, followed by 20 minutes of nothing. And this is just all me. I'm just waffling here, trying to say stuff that doesn't sound relatable. But all this to say, guys, the movie's boring. Don't waste your time with it. There's no reason for you to go check out The Grudge. There's a bunch of awesome movies. There's Just Mercy, starring Michael B. Jordan. There's other movies you can go check out. Rise of Skywalker is not bad. Go watch that again. I mean, hell, I'd rather watch Cats. I would rather watch Cats again than check out The Grudge. Oh my god. This is not a movie. This is a bunch of scary YouTube clips followed by a bunch of boring shit. Sorry to cuss, but this movie sucks. Anyways, guys, I appreciate you guys checking out the video. So just remember,
It's all subjective.
For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. For